All right, good evening, everyone. It is September 4th already, and we are cooking through, and it is Labor Day, which for most of us will say the end of summer, and we are now into fall. And it's the way I like it. I kind of like fall's my favorite season, so the changing of the colors and everything, this is my favorite time. So from September to even December, I like September, October, November, the changing of the colors. October, we're big into Halloween at my house and all that. So it's a fun time for us that I like. And you get the cooler weather. We're getting out of the heat of the summer. So that's pretty cool. Let me go through the email real quick. Soon we will have Terry tying up one of his favorite flies. In my note, I said I will be trying out the new camera, but I've got it. I showed it off, but I don't have it set up yet or gave it a try to make sure I could zoom in with it. I will do that next week for sure. So we will run with that. So we did the Bennett Spring National Casting Competition, long week, but a lot of fun. A lot of, some of those guys were good casters, some of it they're making the common mistakes that we're trying to teach our participants and everyone else. Let the rod do the work, 2 and 10, 2 and 10. And there's no grunting in fly fishing. So they were doing good 2 and 10, 2 and 10, but when they were going to let that fly go, they were like straight to 9 o'clock and it's like their line would peter out. And so the good news is we had Jim Rogers actually showed up a little bit, and he grabbed one of the participants I was helping catch and was just doing 2 and 10 and shooting 80 feet just with his almost just a little bit of a wrist by just kind of keeping it in. So that was kind of fun, but it was a good time. The guys had a good time. 2 good days of like practice and then he did the float trip, and it went so well. It was, and the cost was so low with Jim Rogers that our regional casting competition will be held again during the Vets Fish Free in April. It's already been confirmed that the national will happen again, hopefully maybe they'll just go into September. We got lucky with the weather, but it could be hot, but they're already said they're going to be doing national again next year in Bennett. Everyone loved it. Even the guy from Alaska said this was a beautiful park. So if the guy from Alaska is saying he had a good time and loved the park, that's pretty much done deal with Bennett being in the center of the country. So it was a good time. So fly tying in person, we'll kind of talk more about that later. We're hoping to do September 11th, but we're still waiting for orders to be open up so we could get those materials for Ken and the group to tie with the people at JB. So we're still waiting on that. That is the orders are still on hold. Frank, thank you. We're going to be tying this American Legion post. We're looking at Sunday the 17th from 8 to 11, or if we go a little bit more. Frank said the time's a little bit.
Yeah, no big deal.
No big deal. So we'll get together again, since I can't order equipment. Basically, I will bring what I have, but if you have your own vices and everything, bring your own vices and stuff. And then for the most part, I'll make sure I have donuts, coffee, or something like that. And it'll be just 3 hours of us just chatting, like a social event. Tie up a bunch of flies, and then, we could throw them on a table, and then everyone could take what they need for fishing, and we'll fill up fly boxes. So
what post is that at?
208.
American Legion, post 208, Scott.
And Scott,
Gotcha.
225 Old Sulphur Spring Road.
And Scott's with the American Legion as well. So
right, in
you
Union.
guys will all be good. So again, that's Sunday the 17th that we'll be doing that. Fly rod casting lessons, I kind of leave that up to Roger. He's our casting instructor. So if anyone wants casting instructions, let me know. Then I can get with Roger, or I'll tell Roger if he wants to get a class out there, we could do that as well.
Frank, what times?
8 to
uh,
11,
What time?
8 to 11 a.m.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Lee, yeah, I see that you got, the broken rod blank. I gave Walt a new one yesterday, so no worries on that blanks if I ever get it back, or if you want to just practice with it. A lot of blanks are married
I
together.
don't know if you can get a refund with it or not,
It's kind of old. Those blanks might be 5 years old. So, and that's Pac Bay, which Project Healing Waters doesn't even use anymore. So it might be something that we could use for demonstrations and all that. I'm not too worried about that. And
I want to apologize to you and Walt that I didn't get back with you as soon as I should have.
don't worry.
Going through some things with the
Oh,
little one.
yeah, we got a lot going on. So
Walt got to meet her.
yeah. Oh yeah, with your daughter. Yeah, that's awesome. How you doing, Roger? I guess you're in Colorado. So
Blue sky, wherever he is.
yeah. So he went right from Bennett Springs to Colorado. So he should be having a good time. So there it is, pretty area showing off. Looks good, Roger. Nice sunny weather.
Luckily, Space Force Space.
Oh, nice. Yep. That's military has some good camping grounds too. So all right, let me get back to the email real quick. Fly tying equipment. I'm kind of low on stuff because I haven't got any free stuff from Hargroves. But hopefully soon stuff will be coming in. Walt, I saw you had your hand up. You good, or you had a question, or?
Just remind me about giving away stuff afterwards.
Okay. So again, hopefully I gotta bug Tom and see if there's any free stuff coming in, and then I could get it out to you guys. Our Zoom meeting will still be going on through, unlimited. I do have to, I was joking with Frank, it's I got my new credit card in because the expiration went out, and I got a reminder from Zoom saying you got to give me the new credit card number because it's basically expired. So I got to work with Zoom and tell them just use the same number instead of 2023 as an expiration year, use 2028. So, but we'll still be doing this once JB gets up and running. We're going to do this on Tuesday nights. I just kind of thought about it because tomorrow night I have a sector call, which is our regional call. And so they do that the first Tuesdays of the month. So we'll have to play around with those Tuesday dates, or I think those come in from 7 to 8. So we could still do this. I'm just thinking on the move. We could still do this, but I'm going to have to really shut down at 7 and can't go further than that. So I could take the regional call. So that'll be coming. Calendar next week if you guys want to do it, but I will be in Chicago. We're having a family event out there. But if you guys want to get out and fish, it's Vets Fish Free at Montauk. So that's the Saturday. So if you guys are interested in going to Montauk, beautiful park. I still can't catch anything there yet. I'm still, as I joke, I'm James Bond when I'm there, 007. 0 hits, 0 fish, 7 hours. I just have no luck at that park, but it's very pretty. And so it's really neat. And there's an area where one of my bucket fish hang out, chain pickerel. It looks like little miniature northern pike. I know where they hang out and I see them all the time. So one day I'm going to try to strip something through there and grab one of them. So Pretty area though. It is a good park. September 16th, I'm supposed to work with a Project Healing Water booth at Creve Coeur Lake. And it's the group that's going to be out there is a vet group called Kayaking with a Vet. So they asked me to just kind of be out there to show different events with veterans. So I'll be out there with our tent and a little thing, and I'll just kind of tie up some flies and tell them what we do. So I'll be there a couple hours on September 16th. September 17th, as we said, we'll be at the American Legion Post 208 fly tying from 8 to 11. After that, we have 1 October Union, Missouri Vets Fishing Day that Scott is heading up. So that will be a good day, and we'll still have the same tent and banner, and we'll be doing some fly tying there. So after that, 14th and 15th of October, I told you at Bennett is a Clarence Holland Derby. Fun little derby. Weathers will be cool. Leaves will be changing. But Jim Rogers will actually put like $3,000 worth of prizes out there. So when you get your tag, when you walk out, there's a little table. If you donate $1, they'll mark, like put a little they have a hole punch that has like a star or something that says you made a donation on your tag for that day. And if you go out, catch a fish that's tagged, you bring the tag back in with the fish, and they'll give you a ticket where you can sign your name, and it gets put in the bin, and you could actually then get picked for some of those prizes, and they're pretty good. So that's the 14th through the 15th. If you want to go out to Bennett, it's a good time to go. It's cooler. I'd say the only thing that is tough with that is as the leaves start to fall, they fall into the stream. And when you're trying to cast and get your indicator and everything to drift, and there's like hundreds of leaves going with it, it makes it a little bit hard. But with cooler weather and pretty changing of leaves, it's worth it still. So I think maybe this Thursday. I'll have to find out. I'll send out an email if it is, but John Wright said that the Omaha program will be starting their Thursday meetings again. And I think they said September. So it might be this Thursday. I'll find out from John tomorrow. And if it is, then I'll send out our weekly email tomorrow to get that out. I think that's all I have for that email. So with that, Terry, are you ready to tie for us?
I'd like to say I was born ready.
You were born ready.
I
Cool.
don't think so, but yeah, here we go.
All right. You're spotlighted, so you've got the floor, and go for it.
Okay. Well, I'm using, oops, there's a camera. Number 3, size 10, dry barbless on this Bennett Blue Crackleback to start out with, and a 1/8 inch diameter bead. And I'm going to use this tinsel, Bennett Blue, and then hackle, black hackle. Let's see where this came from. There we go. Alrighty. So, and I'm going to use Solar Res. Hard to do this backwards, isn't it? Okay. So I'm going to use red thread. In the event it shows through any place, supposedly that's supposed to look like a hot spot. So if that's the case, I'm all for it. tie a little on here and then last tied first or something like that. So this feather will go on last, so we'll tie it on first. We'll tie on some stencil. It's wanting to curl up on me. Wind it forward. A little half hitch. Put it on the rest. And then wrap this forward. My hands are awful dry. I'm having a hard time getting a hold of everything and then holding on to it.
Say, don't you hate when your hands get in the way?
Oh man. Yes. The arthritis is working its way through my body. Okay, and here we go. Solar Res. Thank you, Mick.
That
Well,
stuff's good.
actually, no, actually thank who was that at Hargrove?
Greg or Tom?
Krieger. Yeah. You told me about the Bennett Blue. He said, well, try this. And I did, and I love it. So mine is not as big as some people's around here. Whose
Pretty
name
good.
will go on unnamed.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who it is, but he sure brags about it a lot. Well, this came out a little bit better than some of them I did in practice. No, it's not too bad.
That looks
I've tied,
good.
I've tied a lot worse.
Yeah, and those work good. Basically, what I see at Bennett that's working really well is the blue Bennett blue crackleback, which uses that holographic blue tinsel. And Terry ties it just like everyone else does, but without the bead. Good friends of mine, Tom and Kathy Lee and Terry have met him. Maybe Frank, you probably have met him as well, and it's Roger met him too. So pretty much everyone. They exclusively fish the Bennett crackleback. They cast it out, let it float, And then once it gets a little bit far, as it starts to swing, they pull it under and then strip it in, and they do very well. I like the Bennett Blue, but like Terry, I put a bead on it and then fish it under an indicator. So it's still kind of using the Bennett Blue, but as a nymph, and that still does very well. So good one,
Okay.
Terry.
Well, for my what did I call that? My fire moth. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah,
I don't know where I forget where I got these hooks, but you can probably see it's got a little bend in it.
yeah.
I'm not sure exactly why I'm using the bend hook, but that's just what I grabbed. Again, I'm going to use this excuse me, red thread. That's because that's what I had on the spool, and I'm lazy. Okay. And let's see what goes on this one. So we'll put a little tail with this, some of this fiber optics, tensile, whatever it is. This thread and this fiber optic are a little slippery, so I'm going to have to tie it up a little bit further than I would normally do. He says, oh man. Well, we'll see what happens after Wednesday. I get cut on and then do carpal tunnel surgery. So who knows? Maybe it'll improve my dexterity.
I hope so.
I hope so too. Okay, so that's that. I'll cut it back a little bit, not too much. Then chenille. Put some chenille on the back. No, white feather. I almost forgot. I got it here somewhere. Whiting. This is really, this saddle is probably 40 years old. I was looking for a price on it. I didn't see a price.
Jerry, hold that up against your chest. Okay.
Terry, now that's being the ultimate frugal, when you hold on to something for 40 years to wait for it to turn white.
I wish. Actually,
That's what happened
it
to my
used to
hair.
be white. It's a lot more, it's kind of getting yellowish. So trim a little bit of this off. Pull some of it off here. Get a grip on it. Tie this on. Okay, and then once upon a time I had some chenille here. Let's see if it's on the floor. That'd be a good place for it.
That's where I keep mine.
I thought you set it down in front of you when you picked it up the first time.
Here it is. It's on my lap.
There you go.
Yay!
I got some green stuff for you.
Yay. All right, we'll tie this on the back. Then wind this forward. Again, a little half hitch. I'll be dipped.
Yep.
It broke. It broke, but I got the half hitch on.
That's good. Then just retie it on.
Uh,
Might have to cut some of that off now.
I'm going to have to. I've got some this Semperfly, but I don't think I have it in red. It looks like I need some. Okay, let's try this again. Park this. And then turn around the world. Well, my lovely wife and good cook just fed me some hot Mexican food, so I am draining like the devil. Oh God. There's that. Now I'll wind the hook forward. The feather forward. And I take my finger, I don't know if you notice this finger right here, I hook it onto the eye so that the thread doesn't want to fall off there so easily. Another half hitch. Pull back at a little bit of an angle to keep it tight. Off with the feather. And here's the fun part. First off, I got this bag of guinea hen feathers. And there is no rhyme or reason as far as size and dots, but I've done the best I can to find some kind of dots for these wings I'm going to put on here. So I don't know if you could see how this is curved. I'm going to try and put the curved side towards the hook on each side. Try and match these up. So I slide them back and forth. I don't know if you can see that very well. Slide them back and forth until I get them about right. Then I pull one to one side, one the other. It doesn't always work, but that's what I try to do. Probably be a good idea if I had this tight. Miss playing, I don't start sneezing until I get these suckers on there. Now, I've got them on either side of the hook. Try and get them about the same length on either side. And pull them back a little bit. Probably could have done a better job of that. Not too bad.
You cookie.
Okay. Put a dab of solar res on there.
Really go to the toilet. Hey.
What's Walt yelling about?
I muted him.
That's the
He'll be-
best thing you could have done for a while.
Yeah, that's kind of the cool thing about being the moderator. If someone kind of leaves a while and they have to yell at the dog, I can mute them real quick.
Okay, so here it is. So we got the feather provides the wings and the antenna and the legs and all kinds of other stuff. So the way I see, I've never done this. The way I see this is at night on a dock with that has it's a lighted dock, and where the moths will gather at the light, get zapped, and then fall into the water. I think that this would do well there with probably any fish in that situation.
Yeah.
So there it be.
Yeah, that could be any bug right now, especially during, now that we have September coming and especially October, all those beetles and all those bugs start dying off, and they're in the trees and in the grass overhanging the water, and they kind of fall in. So if you like top water, September, October are great months for it, and it'll even go into November, December. And if you could get to the Current River or like the Nyangua River near Bennett, you'll get a lot of brown trout with those. They're big meat eaters and they like the bigger bugs and stuff like that. That would do very well. And then even summertime, if you cast that near lily pads in a pond, you'll pick up bluegill and bass with that as well. So it's a good buggy fly.
Well, thanks. So this is my own creation.
Looks good, Terry.
I don't think I'm going to sell a whole lot of these hooks.
Yeah,
So I probably won't have to register it or whatever you call it with the US patent it.
Yeah, do tie it at that meeting on the 17th, because I do have like my little wooden fly box here, and it's kind of neat. Daughter got it for me, so it's got my name on it and all that. And
Nice.
if anyone gives me any cool flies, and I've got even one of Walt's flies in there, any special flies, I put them in there. So if you tie it, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
Even
I will make you some, or I'll get you this one.
yeah, and then I don't have any of my stuff. Oh, I could show you this. And it's cool, if you get a little box like I have, neat things you could do. Let me put the spotlight on me for a second. Keep this. I know for most of us, time's already gone by, but right there, you could see that. That's my first fly I ever tried tying. And I used this from a book, and there's no way you could fish this because there is no way I could find the eye in that, because I had no idea you were supposed to not crowd. But people told me a mop fly, this thing doesn't have any weight, so this thing would float all day long, and I'd have to hack through a lot of stuff to even find the eye. But again, it's something, cool flies, that I have that, you might want to keep. That was the first, this big cricket was the first one I tied at Project Healing Waters at JB. That was the first one I did. This fly right here, it doesn't have a hook anymore, so I had to put it in there, but that was the one when I was fishing with Amy at Bush Wildlife. and she went to cast. She did a back cast, and the wind blew, and I could feel her line going laid across my neck. And before I could even say don't, she went, and luckily it caught. I had a gator on it, and it hooked the gator, so she hooked me into that one. This one here, I tied, and I used a fly that I tied, which was this one, and I used the first rod I built. And so this was the fly that I used on the first rod I built at Merrimack and caught a trout. This one right here, it's kind of hard to see, but that's Walt's Mayfly. Tom Colley gave me this other one here, and then this one here at the bottom is a clink hammer I used to win that competition for Project Healing Water. So you'll have to give me one of those flies, Terry, so I could put it in.
I will surely do that.
So again, something kind of funny you guys could do. It's, you know, I keep special flies in there. So we still have a couple minutes. You guys have anything you want to go over? If not, I could hit the stop button on the record, and then I could actually do the financials. You know, I just want to keep this
That's
as part
fine.
of our normal meeting. So let me do that. So I will end the normal meeting right now. Again, thanks for everyone coming out. I will have an email coming out after tomorrow's sector call to see if John and the Omaha group is tying again on Thursday. So I'll get an email out, letting you guys know, and then I'll pick a fly for next week that I'll tie. I'll try to think of something that's terrestrial, like a dry fly, because those are doing really well right now at Bennett. So, all right, everyone, I'm going to hit the stop button, and everyone who else weren't here that could see it on YouTube, we'll see you next week.